So, this is Cannabis Medic, and I haven't made one of these videos in a long ass time because nobody's really asked me to, but now I got a couple of new players who just came to the scene who do have a lot of players, uh, who do have a lot of questions. I'm sorry. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly explain to you why your watch needs to be over 800, period, end of discussion. And if you're not over that, just concentrate on that. And then I'm going to explain some other things, not so much on, use this build and that's it, but why things work. If you understand why things work, then you'll find your own style really quick. So, first of all, let's talk about a watch level. Keener's watch was added in to pretty much have us grind some fucking more. So if you look at a completed Keener's watch like this, you're going to use your first 800 on all of these, okay? Whether you do this first, or this first, or this first, or this first, or this first, you're going to get people telling you shit. I'm going to tell you straight up. You're going to fill all these the fuck up. So just, if you're looking to run and gun right away, then you're going to want to fucking start right up here. And you want to put in for, some people are going to tell you start with crit chance, that's 10%, or crit damage, that's 10%. But, I started with weapon damage because, where the fuck doesn't weapon damage come in? So, you're going to do all this anyways. But I went weapon crit. And then I went headshot. I don't care about headshots. I'm not a sniper. I'm not that good at it. But that's how I did it. And people will tell me, oh, you're all fucked up. No, you're not. You're going to fill all this up. End of fucking story. So it's how you want to grind. You're going to do the grind. End of fucking story. And then over on the defensive, see, every time you fucking level up, you're going to get 1 point to one of these each. Okay? So you can't just run and spend all your money right here, right now. You have to build it up. So this time you'll get one over here and one over there. So what you'll be doing is while you're building up one of these squares, you're building up one of these squares. So choose which squares you want to build up first. If you're a skill build like I am, I went, of course, skill damage, yeah. Skill haste, oh yeah, 10% on both. And skill duration. The skill tree I filled up first because that's what I did first. When I was doing a crit, I started with weapon damage because what doesn't use weapon damage? But if you're a headshot guy, then you need to start with headshot damage. But that's up to you. It doesn't matter. I don't care where you start. Same thing with this. Health isn't worth a whole lot, but armor's worth a hell of a lot more. So build up 10% total armor. Okay, if you're a Has-Pro build, well, then that's a protection. Dude, there's 10% and there's 10% explosive resistance. You're going to do them all eventually. How you do them is up to you. Handling, same thing. You're going to see differences once you hit these. Having 10% accuracy and 10% stability and more ammo and you reload just a little bit faster than the other guy fucking pays off. Okay, so all four of these, I'm just going to tell you, just fucking do it, okay? Don't worry about which ones. Don't listen to anybody who tells you, oh, you're doing it wrong. You're just going to have to fucking do it, okay? You go over here to Scavenger. What that's actually used for is when you fill up that 800, you're going to be filling this up. But after you fill up your 800, every time you level up, this is your payday right the fuck here. This payday allows you to go over... This allows you to go over and buy field recon. Or what you're going to be really needing to get, like shade calibration or another character to level out that printer filament. But here's the thing, you can't stop at 800. It keeps going. When you get over 1,000, okay, that's when you know every single level is going to be duplicated on every single character if you have them going. Or, like I'm doing, I've already killed one, starting it over again, so by the time it comes back, I'm going to have so many resources. This is how people are doing it. They're just sharing it between their characters.
Agent requesting
So
backup.
basically, that's kind of how that works. But that you'll learn that. That's not what am I trying to say? That's not important right now. What important is that you got to fill up your first 800. You're gonna have to fucking do it. There's just no fucking way around it. Don't let anyone tell you different. One second. The other thing I'm about to show you is just give you an idea, a couple ways you could go. I mean, it's just totally up to you. Okay? So, that's why the watch is the watch. Just don't sweat the watch. It'll happen. Okay? Some things will level it up quicker than others. Don't worry about your watch. It'll happen. You're just going to have to go with it. You didn't grind this yet. Okay? So you didn't have to go from level 0 to 40. Congratulations. You still got a little bit of a grind, but everything else is paid for. So, let's take a look at a build. So, let's start with, you want to see the type of build I like running around with. Well, this one I've been playing with, this is a spotter build I've been playing with. The talent is flatline. The goal is, I crit you to death. That's the goal. This is meant for the DZ. It's not perfect. I need one more armor core. I'd be really happy when I get that. But essentially, if you look at it, it's all centered around the coyote mask and crit damage. Perfect spotter. Well, what's used to see the perfect spotter here gives me 20%, and then the tactician linked laser. What that does is in the tactician class, and this is where all these changes are going to happen that hasn't happened yet, with the classes you kind of hear about. This is what it is. You had to be technician to get this linked laser pointer. Technician laser pointer that pulses targets at which it is aimed. You're always fucking pulsed. Okay? All you need is a long underbarrel. Okay? So your long underbarrel. Oh, where is it? Oh, yeah, underbarrel attachment for long routes. I'm sorry about that. I have a highlight. What an idiot. So, you're always pulse. Whatever I aim at is pulse. Whatever I shoot at is pulse. Automatically, that's 20% for the perfect spotter, and flatline gives me additional 15% on top of that. And then other than that, I've got the 20 extra rounds, which you're always going to want. And in this case, it is a crit build, so I've specced out all in damage that I could get into. I would put this damage, but dude, you can't use a link pointer. That's the key to this. So that link pointer comes in there. So right there, that is 35% on top of the 70.6, and it just builds up. That's the whole point of the flatline. It just builds up. Now the Walker and Harris, there's weapon damage there, but it's all crit chance and damage and a little bit of armor to get past you. It's all crit chance and damage. That's what this type of build is. Okay? Now this one, I would much rather have an armor core than that weapon damage. Survivability. But since I put this one on, I'm losing 6% crit chance, but I'm getting 8% damage out of cover, which is multiplicative. Along with the Contractor's Glove, 8% damage to armor, which is also multiplicative. Okay? This LMG has 10% damage out of cover. Health damage almost useless right now because it's not about health, it's about armor. But here, I have health damage. I'm farming for another vector because that should be damage to armor. Okay, so that's one thing I'm missing. It's still work in progress, but it's sharp for what it is. So if you look at the stats here, you'll see that with this SMG, I'm 60% chance. I'm maxed out on chance. And 163 damage. And that's before you add in the Hunter Mask. My long rifle is 49% chance and 153 damage. I could put a little more in that, but you know what? It smacks. So if you go down, you'll see it's 8% armor damage and 21% health damage. ARs are going to be the main one as health damage. But if you look at my SMG, crit damage is the main one. So I could put another vector that has the damage to armor, and that would combine. But unfortunately, like I said, so it's still a grind. But this is where I'm going with it. Armor damage is multiplicative. So you're going for all multiplicative damage. Crit's multiplicative. And that's why it's so deadly. Why it hurts so damn much. So pretty much that's what I got going with this. Now the AR I can either use, I like the Honey Badger better than the Bullet King. I don't know why, but I mean I could put the Bullet King on here to give you a perfect example. Or I'm sorry, the Kingbreaker. My bad. So with the Kingbreaker, I get a lower rate of fire, but see, 6% damage to armor and 20% poultice enemies. That's, oh, right there, that's like almost 40%, okay? But if you look at my stats for it, it's at 54%. So, you know what, just because this is, anything over 50 is good. But I'm running and gunning. It's this 1200 RPM that spits out so fucking quick. And this mass, it just gives you the upgrade of the crit. That's how this build is, okay? I tell you what, I was a shield guy for a long time, but guess what? These defender drones fucking work. Especially for this build. You get used to that defender drone, it's cool. You realize that weird look you see everywhere at your defender drone deflecting bullets? You get used to that, and you don't notice it as much, and then you start hitting. Decoy? Well, who don't like a good decoy, right? But that is just one of my builds. Let's look at the stats real quick on it. You got 60 chance, 60 or 54 chance, 53 damage. Look at that, 14% armor damage. That's 14% multiplicative damage. And you're just not going to beat that. That's how this game works. It's crit and armor. Crit and armor. That's the Dark Zone. Okay? So that's what's up with this build. So that gives you an idea kind of what I'm running here. I'll show you another build. Now, skill builds are easy. I always ran with one because you don't need to aim on them. Okay? It doesn't matter what the fuck you have. If you're a skill build, you can down anybody in the DZ because, you know, you're the one people don't like because it just, screw them. It's part of the game, you know. I think it's great. If you look at my videos, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But I got two different type of Dark Zone. I have one for Dark Zone and one for Conflict, and they are a little different. I don't pay too much Conflict. So if you're going for a skill build, these are easy to farm pieces, and I don't mind helping you. So I had the blue screen on only because I'm playing with that. Normally with this one, you go with the capacitor all the way because it's 40% skill damage you're racking up for every skill tier. That's why everybody runs with the capacitor. Me, I don't want to be that close. But for NPCs and stuff, and then of course in sync. And then this is what I do. I run around my pistol, so I guess I'm on my skill tier. So everything's centered around my mask here. I think I've showed you that before. I'll explain it more later. And then the pieces, they're just all hodgepodge, but they all made sense. Like this one, status effects. What's a bleed? A status effect. Let's put on a status effect. Let's have it creep to others when I get near them. There you go. Still a work in progress, guys. And this is my go-to build. It shows you how much I'm worried about upgrading this build even further because it smacks that much. Status effects, explosive damage. What do I have explosive damage for? Oh, the ball down there. Skill damage, status effects. Yeah, pure. There's a whole video on it that I put on there of me using this in the Dark Zone, and all I do is run around and throw around my skills, and yeah, people just don't like that. But this is a skill build, and that's part of the game. And if you don't like it, well, then don't play the damn game. But it is part of the game. All builds can be counteracted one way or fucking another. They always can. So Oh yeah, I get my ass handed to me a lot, but you know what? I hand a lot of people their ass too. That's how this game is exactly played. So that's a skill build. Now those are PvP skill builds. PvE skill build is even fucking simpler. You'll have one in no time. So, oh, actually, let me show you an example, real quick. So we set the highest level. There's also a hive out there, and this is what happens to players. Except they go down a lot quicker. And that is how that works. Pretty fun. Watch the video. But that's what I did. All you gotta do is slang around these hives and slang around that little seeker mine, and you run out there and go, oh, there's somebody poking their heads out. And you know, while your hive is messing up a bunch of people, you throw your seeker mine in there in the mix and watch them all go bye-bye. Let me take a look at that bleeding tick you got there. We'll put some fucking stacks on this thing. Hey, watch this one. Whee! Watch the damage. Look at that. Whoa! Look at that damage. Look at that. Load of bleed. That's what you see in my videos when I use a skill build. Except these are on players that just go bye-bye. These are NPC equivalent, which means they all got like some part of Has-Pro. But dude, this smack's the same. Theory is exactly sound. The build for PvE is different than PvP. Remember that. So, that's pretty much how that one works. In fact, let me show you what a PvE skill build that I've been using since the beginning of time. And this is your tried and true. It will never fucking fail you, except, and don't use this in countdown. Okay? You want to just DPS shit out of there. That's gear farming. Don't use this in countdown. Everywhere else, oh, use this. Okay? Basically, it's a tier 6. So you got the striker drone that just fucking shreds shit to nothing. And then your test subject as an AR has perfectly in sync. And you see that it's using non-shield skill. So that's the key. And that's what they changed in this. Non-shield skill. Well, these aren't shield skills. But this won't work for you too well in the dark zone against players. Against NPCs, this will wipe them out. And a Scorpio shotgun because, you know, if they get close enough, fuck them up. 3-piece impers, this is hands down. You just put in skill damage and skill haste. That's all you're doing is skill damage, skill haste. Skill damage, skill haste. Anything gives you a boost. Perfect combine. Shooting an enemy increases skill damage by 30%. You're just multiplying your skill damage. That's all you're doing. Here's a little armor regen, but look, make your skill stay out for 20% longer. And then once again, skill damage, skill haste. This is just skill, skill, skill. That's all this is. You have no intent on running into anything. You intend to have your drone do all the fucking work. And anyone who bitches at you, just tell them fuck you. That's how this is done. Now, I'll go give you a quick example of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run right out here. And if you're new to, if you're obviously on watch level 22, like one of you are, then you haven't gotten all your calling cards, and those are like the same thing as the Iraqi war cards. So all the fucking bosses have a fucking card, and every hour a boss will spawn here, and it normally changes, and it'll just keep cycling through, and you keep doing it, and you'll start getting cards. And then when you collect them all, you get some XP in a stupid patch. But that's what it is.
Detected protected hostiles.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sneak up to this bitch. There's the bosses. I am going to throw this guy up there. Whee! And then there's the boss. Alright, you're just boosting damage on damage. Don't know why my turret fucking did that. But I don't even need to go anywhere. Go back up my drone over here. Oh, look. I got an idea. You know what? We'll put you right up there where everybody can see you. Oh, yep. And that guy's dead. And see, this is how you farm. Little combined arms on there, and bye-bye. This is how you summit farm, too. Oh, look, got my droney back. He might be out there, but, you know, then they start running from you. Kind of funny. But that's kind of how, that's how a PvE skill build works. This works with legendaries, it works, you know, I mean, it's just all around. Your job isn't to get in people's faces, your job is to use your skills to let people get in people's faces. And anyone who tells you just to go screw themselves. Skill builds are awesome fucking builds to fuck with. I started it because it was easy and just made sense. I can throw a fucking skill around, even when I medicate because of my back. I'm not very good at the short gunplay normally. But you know what? I can sling a fucking hive. And I do. And people hate that shit. But hey, that's part of the game. So, in general, that is the brief introduction I want to give to you, the short and sweet. The idea here is synergy. How do things work together? Does it make sense, or does it look like a bunch of hodgepodge? If it's a bunch of hodgepodge, it doesn't make sense. If it's a crit build, then you need crit damage. You need crit chance and damage. If it's a skill build, you need skill power. What type of skill build is it? Is it raw power for NPCs, or is it a skill build in DZ, which is a lot different where the rules change? That's how you're going to play. You're going to figure it out eventually. You might not even like skill builds. You might just run and gun and that's it. Some people do. I do a little bit of everything. I've just played it for that long. So if you got any opinions, one important thing, every time you get a chance, you come over here to this library and you need to fill this shit up, especially talents. All of it. Talents, attributes, not every single attribute, but stuff that would be important for that type of piece, like body armor. Oh yeah, you're going to need crit chance on body armor, you're going to need crit damage, or you're going to need armor regen, or you're going to need hazard protection. Fuck health. If you get it, cool. I don't care. But you need hazard protection or armor regen or critical hit damage. You want to max these out. That way you get a piece that's lacking something like this, you throw it on that piece. Your core attributes, this is how you max them all out. Max these out for every single thing here. Body armor, gloves. Don't worry about the other bullshit. You just want to max all of these out. As soon as you max all of these out, you'll be well better off. That way you'll get a piece and go, oh, dude, it's not total trash. I can change it because I have this. It's a grind. I've been doing this for a lot ever since the beta, ever since Div 1. If you go back to all my videos, they're Div 1. So same thing. This is important. Don't care what other people say. Dude, your watch level is what it is. Just work on this. This is what you need to work on. You got away without doing the 1 through 40. So you need to do this. This is what you're missing, and you can't pay for this. So that's it. If there's anything else, let me know. And that is me just pretty much saying adios.